In this tutorial, we'll explore how to bring your light shows to life with sequences. Sequences are an incredibly flexible way to build anything from simple chases to the most sophisticated dynamic arrangements. Sequences live in the preset palette on the right. They consist of a number of steps which are activated one after the other. Just like presets, sequences can be added to cues. Here are 4 presets which define some colors. To turn them into a sequence, we select them and then press the mouse over the plus button and choose New Sequence from Selection. Each sequence step has a hold time, which determines how long it stays active. The default is 1 second. If we run this simple sequence, it looks like this. We can customize the hold time for each step. Press Tab to jump to the next field. Note that these hold times appear brighter because they override the default. The default hold time can be changed in the Sequence Inspector. If we set a fade time, Lightkey blends smoothly from one step to the next. We can also assign custom fade times to each step. The speed slider is an easy way to change the overall speed of the sequence without editing all hold and fade times. Let's set the hold times to 0. We also need to clear the custom hold times. When we select multiple rows, we can change their hold times at once. Now we get a continuous fade between the colors. For more information on timing, there's a detailed explanation in the Lightkey user guide. Of course, we can change the order of the steps at will. Lightkey can also shuffle the steps in a random order. The sequence steps can be edited at any time. Let's change the iris property for blue and yellow to get a smaller beam. In the other 2 steps, the iris is fully open, but it's a good idea to define the iris property as well, so Lightkey can calculate a smooth crossfade between them. And here's the result. Here's a sequence which activates some pars from left to right. Let's see how we can change this with the options in the Sequence Inspector. By default, sequences repeat infinitely, but we can tell Lightkey to stop after some number of passes. Backwards activates the steps in reverse order. Auto-reverse reverses the direction after each pass. If we select Freeze on completion, the last step remains active at the end of the final pass. Sequences are also useful for running fog machines automatically. We'll create a new sequence with 2 steps. The first step turns the fog output on, the other turns it off. Now, to get fog for 5 seconds with a 1-minute interval, we can set up the hold times accordingly. Copy and paste is a very handy feature when building sequences. Let's return to our original color sequence. We can easily copy properties between fixtures in different steps. Let's do the same for the yellow and green steps. It's even quicker when you recall the keyboard shortcuts. That looks nice, but let's make the light beams a little softer by adding a frost effect. We could edit all 4 steps to do this, but there's an easier way. First, we apply the frost effect to the fixtures. Then, we select the sequence steps, right-click, and choose Add Overrides. This adds the frost property to all steps. Now, let's synchronize our sequence to music. If we select beat-controlled timing, Lightkey advances the sequence on each beat. The hold time and speed are no longer used, but we can still set a fade time. Let's make this a bit snappier. To synchronize sequences to music, you can either use a MIDI clock signal sent by another application, or simply tap and Lightkey will learn the beat. The sequence now runs in sync with the beat. The beat multiplier lets us adjust the timing. For example, if we divide the beat by 2, the sequence advances on every half beat. If we multiply the beat by 4, it advances on every fourth beat.